One of the things I'm most proud of is our mental health department, where we provide low-cost counseling to special needs individuals and their families. During times like this is something that everyone can use. Hello, Super Tuesday!
Super Tuesday!
Oh my gosh.
How many people did not sleep last night?
I didn't. I definitely did not sleep last night. And it wasn't from like a Halloween candy high that everyone's on.
That's me right now.
Oh.
So happy Tuesday, everyone.
Yes.
We are a week past our big Dodger win here. The Dodgers won last Tuesday in Los Angeles. I know those of you that aren't in LA, bear with us for a second. But today's show was inspired by the Dodger win and being a part of a team.
Yeah.
And sort of parlaying that team spirit into some sort of wellness and sense of community. And what is it like to be a part of a team and to have young people, young adults, adults playing basketball, baseball, soccer. It provides people with a sense of connection, good team spirit, maybe some sense of value. So that's how today's show sort of got formed. Getting outside and exercising gives you good mental wellness.
Yeah, I think from a parent perspective too, so many of our kids are sedentary, and even more so now with the pandemic.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that, Eddie used to do this wonderful program called Challenge Your Baseball. And it was just, he really looked forward to it. There was so much physicality every week, and, we can't do it now. And it's very, very, it's just hard for these kids who are inside all the time. There's very little exercise. And so it's not so much the team aspect is really important, but I think parents are now at a point where they just want their kids to get out and be physical.
Mm-hmm.
And for all kids, all abilities, this is important. And there's so many amazing organizations. We're going to talk in a minute with our first guest, who runs an amazing organization for special needs individuals. And you and I have known this guest for a long, long time. I met him.
We've known each other for a long time.
Well, you and I have
too.
known each other for, I think I know our first guest right around the same amount of time I knew you, because we were all Autism Speaks, volunteering. Philip was in the LA office, and it was a real family. We were all one big family.
Very grassroots at the time.
And so Philip is now in a new organization that I'm going to let him talk about. So let's bring Philip Hain on and talk to us about this wonderful organization.
Look at our producer.
Oh, wow. Our producer's being fired.
Sleeping on the dog.
Hey, Philip.
Hello, how are you?
Welcome to Health and Wellness with Chrisa and Navah. And we were just saying that it was about 7 years ago at the first walk that I met Philip, because he knew my brother Israel.
Mm-hmm.
And that was 2012 walk that I met Philip.
Wow.
And I met you at the 2012 walk.
Yeah.
And
8 years ago.
And Maddie, guy, that silly guy, who was a terrible producer, by the way. He gets fired. So, Philip, tell us about your organization and how it can help individuals, especially during this unprecedented time.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. This is a wonderful little reunion that we're having here. But recently, just about 3 months ago, I started as the executive director of an organization called ARC, and that stands for Activities, Recreation, and Care. And we're based in North Hollywood. So for people who are local, you might drive by and miss us, but we are essentially at Victory and Whitsett in North Hollywood. And it's a program that's been around for about 50 years and serving adults with developmental disabilities, primarily Down syndrome, but we do have some on the autism spectrum and other types of developmental and intellectual disabilities. So ARC started in the late 60s. As with many organizations, it was two moms who met in the park, and they just started talking and recognized that they each had a daughter with Down syndrome, and just started talking about the lack of services, the lack of programs. And at this time, their daughters were very young. I mean, we're talking in the range of about 5 years old, but still nothing to do, no place to go. So they decided to just start holding what they called a Saturday camp, and getting their daughters together, other family members, and as they're out in the park, out in the community, other people ask questions, start joining in. And so this Saturday camp program develops, and then it transitions into we need to do this more often. Let's start a weekday program. So Saturday becomes weekday, and then the organization grows and becomes an actual nonprofit in 1975. So we're talking about 45 years as an official nonprofit. And so there's a couple of different components. We have a day program, which of course during COVID is all being done remotely, but it's licensed by Regional Center, both North LA County and Lanterman Regional Center. We typically have 42 participants with about a 1-to-6 staff and client ratio. Again, traditionally on site, now by Zoom, but the staff is primarily direct service providers. So they are assisting the day program clients. We also provide before and after care, just because it's a day program. So many of the adults are dropped off. Yeah, parents are working. And in some cases, the caretaker might be a sibling. So whoever is their caretaker, just depending on what they do. So the full day actually runs 8 in the morning till 6 at night. So we've got before care, the main program from 10 to 4, and then after care from 4 to 6. And then we also have a residential program. So we have 15 full-time residents in 3 homes, and the ratio there is generally no more than 1 to 4. Now, the interesting thing about the residential program is it's not licensed in a traditional manner. So, and this took me some sort of getting used to when I started, because when I kept being told it's not a licensed residential facility, because the adults who live in our homes are considered tenants. They pay rent to us, and that's how the program was set up. So it's a portion of their SDI that they pay, but some of the costs are shared. Food, utilities, activities that they go out and do, they pay for a portion. So, for example, like over the last 2 weeks, we did the Hauntoween that took place out in I think Topanga Plaza, that area. So we put our residents in a couple of different vans and alternated different nights and schedules, but they got to participate in the Hauntoween. So we try and do as many activities as possible with them. So the program for the residents is vendored by Regional Center, but it's adaptive living skills as opposed to a residential facility. So some of the residents will participate in our day program, but some of them will have other daytime activities. Some volunteer at a school. We've got others who have part-time jobs. So some of them, their day program is like Tierra del Sol for people local to LA. They know about that program. So
wonderful.
So some are here, some are doing other things. It's just, and it's all based on their IPP with the Regional Center. So the skills that they're learning, the classes that they're taking, are all based on what their needs are. In addition to the clients that we have in the 3 residences, we're currently renovating a 6-unit building with 2 townhouses, and 4 apartments that will be ready for occupancy, cross our fingers, within the next couple of months. So we're looking to expand there. And then we're also converting one of our existing residences into what's called an ICF, in the intermediate care facility, because some of our clients, as they're aging and experiencing both physical and cognitive issues, need more care than just a more independent facility. So we're trying to reach more levels of care with our clients. So for the day program and also for the residents, traditionally, again, in non-COVID land, we do community outings. So sometimes it's out to the zoo, to Dodger games. Those of us in LA are familiar with Stephanie's Day at the CB Studio Center. it occurred to me after I started here at ARC that I recognized some of the clients who came by the booth that I was there. So you've probably seen them there, but it's, again, just to get them out in the community. So we do that through transport vans that we own, but we also, and this goes perfectly into what we're talking about with mental and other types of wellness help, because our clients have participated in 5Ks. They do traditionally the LA Marathon. There's a 5K the day before. So we've actually had a couple of clients do the marathon or the charity relay, do the 5K a couple weeks ago. We had some of them doing the Down syndrome buddy walk. So again, it was all virtual this year, but we did an actual miniature version of the walk where we took them out to a local park in Van Nuys and had them do about maybe 30 to 45 minutes of exercise. One of our clients actually did a 5K run because she wanted to have a timed run. So it's all part of both their physical and mental health. We've had clients do Special Olympics. We have a basketball court here on site. We have a pool that the residents do. And so we couldn't do our traditional Special Olympics this year. We had our own little mini swim meet that we did for the clients.
Awesome.
So physical activity is very important. Yes.
Do you know the team from DSALA?
I know some of actually one of the parent of one of our clients actually was very involved with DSALA. Yeah. So I'm familiar with the organization, and at least one of the former employees. Yeah. Because
one of the things that we're really excited about is, everyone knows about Matt and I, especially from the autism world. And we've really, the center is for all special needs, and we've really partnered with DSALA. And I would love to connect you with their new head, who's amazing.
Absolutely.
Because it seems to me that there would be a great interaction between you guys, and I think that what you're offering, I mean, I don't know if you, I would assume that you guys are capped out in your residential.
Residential will actually be looking to expand because of the new building that we're opening. A day program is capped out now, but we're looking to be more creative, because especially with what we're doing is we're doing Zoom classes like everybody else in the world. I credit the staff who did this long before I arrived, back when COVID hit everybody in March. The transition to remote learning through Zoom was swift and very effective. We had to get some iPads and do some training, and the staff that was coming here on site every day had to switch to do the classes from home. But and fortunately most of the clients had computers at home, just needed a little bit of training, because didn't we all need training on Zoom when this first hit?
Absolutely. I still don't get it. And the thing is, we don't know, Chris and I are talking about this all the time. We don't know when this is going to end. And that's one of the hard parts for a lot of our participants, is they don't know how long this is going to go on. And I know that,
that just causes a lot of anxiety. The uncertainty of when is this going to change? And, as you're talking, I'm really wondering, how do you, have you noticed how some of the sports and the activities have really sort of put an extra skip in the step of some of your clients and residents? And do you see some emotional well-being and change happen after some of the activities outdoors?
Oh, definitely. Yeah. I mean, for me, again, I arrived during, COVID land, but just from what I've seen, some of the limited things that we've done, like especially the swim meet, we did it on a Friday afternoon for a couple hours, and just, the pride of the clients who participated in the various activities is palpable. And I know when we just did our own mini version of the Down syndrome buddy walk, the client who participated and actually ran the full 5K loved it, and those who were walking, it was just exhilarating for them, and really helping them to get that sense of pride and accomplishment, because health and wellness is such an important part. What we're trying to do is some of the classes that we do, again, which are consistent with our clients, IPPs, We've got like acting and movement and yoga.
Oh, that's great.
Exercise, speech and communication, some chair yoga, fitness, music therapy. So we're really trying to provide that variety. And we have one teacher in particular who's great at doing the fitness. And we were just talking this morning because unfortunately for us, she has to take vacation. Darn her. So how do we fill in that gap? To make sure that we're still providing some kind of fitness classes, and maybe it's providing links to other types of exercise programs or yoga. So a lot of them.
Well, you definitely you have to let your participants know that every Tuesday after our next show, we have a online free class for anyone who wants to join, and it's the most incredible hip hop teacher. And I don't know if you've heard of her, but Straight Up Abilities has been working in the Down syndrome community for many, many years. She's the most energetic hip hop master. But we also have 2 in-person classes. So maybe you and I can talk off camera later.
Yeah.
If that's something that you would want to bring some of the participants to, especially our Sunday class, which we still have availability to, because for the time being, who knows, Philip, as you can imagine, we're all thinking the same thing. Who knows what today and tomorrow are going to bring? We don't know. It's in God's hands now. But how's my friend Andrew doing?
Andrew's doing great. Andrew is always, trying to do his celebrity sightings. He continues to work in his job at Vaughn's and really enjoys that. In fact, it's 3 years now. But I was just thinking of the question Chrisa asked about the physical health and things. The other challenge that we find is just so many of our clients, when they were coming here, the socialization and the interaction and that mental component has been a challenge. And thank goodness Zoom has helped supplement that. But so many of them are just longing for that interaction. And even when they do, we have to make sure that they're safe and physically distant. So you can see your friends, but you can't hug. So all of the things that we have to reinforce with them are so important to both their physical and their mental well-being. So safety is the precaution. So unfortunately, we've had to limit access into our home, into the homes where they live, but we try and get them out safely. And as things have eased up a little bit, I'll say that with a big caveat, we try and at least get them out as we did for the Hauntoween, or for something that's more self-contained in a local park, to really both boost their physical health, their mental and emotional health, and their socialization and well-being.
Just noticing last week, I mean, we're in LA here, so when the Dodgers were going to the World Series, whether you watched from the very beginning or you watched at the very end, even or just that one last game last Tuesday, it just brought a sense of community, and everyone was just, really wanting to have a sense of connection and cheer for their team. And so just noticing like that community and sense of community, and it's like, we won. Well, what did I do?
It was a wonderful
sending some good energy, to the Dodgers, but to be on a team and to be a part of a team. And like, I have not seen the Special Olympics in years, but I used to be involved when I was very young. And just to see the participants have a team to support each other and to get a sense of that community and pride, and to feel just, like a valuable part.
Well, and you said swim meet.
Yeah,
the swim meet was like I think anytime personally, Philip, I think water therapy is the best therapy for our community. Best, hands down. There's some kids that are very, they have water aversion. But even those guys I've worked with, and if you're the right teacher and you can get them in at their pace, those kids will be really, really, they really benefit from water therapy. And,
I
that's
remember,
the one that the center is missing, is a pool.
Yeah. When my son Andrew was younger, he loved going in the water, but he was not water safe. And we tried a couple of different group classes, and we finally were able to get actually funding from Regional Center, and this is many years ago, for private swim lessons, and it just made a huge difference because he could be both water safe and interacting with other kids, teens at that point. So he wasn't excluded from participating in group activities. So it was very beneficial on many levels.
Well, I am so proud of you, Philip, and I'm so stoked that you're doing this because I really think that the center and am I pronouncing it right? ARC?
ARC, yeah.
ARC, and tell us again what that stands for.
Activities, recreation, and care. And for anybody who wants to, check us out, obviously you've got my contact information. Yeah. But our website, it's a little bit of a mouthful, but it's ARC. So it's ARC, AND, and adults, ADULTS.org. So it's ARC and adults.org.
Got it.
Philip, can you tell us a little bit about your instructors?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, our staff are primarily direct service providers. So they're helping with a combination of both the day program activities, as I mentioned, all of the classes, the exercise, the fitness, those things, but also supporting the residential clients who are part of the adaptive living skills in their homes. And this all kind of had to be upended and totally switched when COVID hit, because traditionally the day program clients, as I mentioned, they're either coming to the center to participate in day program activities or going somewhere else. Now they're in their residences. So we had to do a lot of training and assistance in adapting what they were doing and supporting them because they're not coming here. So it's kind of a combination of them doing a couple of Zoom classes, during the day, then a break for some, for lunch, and then maybe some afternoon classes. And it depends on the skill level. So some of them will have, 3 classes a day. Some of them may just have 1, but the staff is now supporting them, within the residence. So for some of them, the activity that keeps them, occupied and fulfilled might just be, watching a video or doing drawings, but we're trying to expand that as much as possible. So the direct service providers are also helping with some of their their basic needs, with brushing teeth and life skills and things like that. So it's both fundamental skills and educational and instructional skills also.
That's so awesome. So awesome. Okay, so Philip, we have your website up, and if anybody would like more information, they can go to the website and reach out to Philip Hain, and he will direct you, because this is amazing. And now that we know that there is residential, that's the golden word in LA. So yeah, we're going to direct people to you, Philip, and I'd love to talk more about the connection with DSSLA and the center and your organization.
That would be great. Thank you for having me.
What is the age range?
Mostly older adults now, but one of the things that we're looking at is bringing in younger clients. And again, with ARC being around literally for 45 to 50 years, some of many of the program participants have literally grown up with from age 5 into their 50s. So for now, many of the participants are probably in, and we've got a couple in their, a few in their 30s, but mostly in their 40s and 50s, and some even in their 60s, and they just find joy and fulfillment in being with their friends and getting that type of interaction.
Well, they're growing up together. They're growing up together as a community.
Yeah,
that's wonderful.
And let them know, we have mental health available here. If anybody wants to reach out, we're doing telehealth, and we have a staff of 5 people that are focused and trained on working with the special needs community, and so we have that available here if any of your clients, or their
families, not just the participants, it's the mothers and the fathers siblings. And the typical siblings. Right.
Oh yeah, and that's a challenge also, because the clients in the day program traditionally were here during the day. So it's certainly a burden on their caregivers,
for sure,
who were not working, who are at home all day with them. And so we're trying to help them with different supports and coping strategies, whatever that might be.
Mm-hmm.
Wonderful.
Right.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Philip.
Philip.
And we're definitely going to have you back on and talk just about the residential next time.
Well, that will work. I'm happy to be part of this and appreciate it.
Give our love to Susan and Andrew, and we'll see you guys hopefully on the other side of all this issue.
Exactly. Yeah. All right.
Okay,
thank you.
Philip. Bye.
Okay.
Bye. Wow.
Wonderful.
That was really educational. I had no idea.
We didn't know they were here. Now we do, and we have to get the word out, because these are the kind of programs that
especially
people really need. And DSSLA families would really like to know that there's this wonderful organization available. So Chrisa, this is a big day.
Yes.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna order some sushi, I think.
Yes.
And
I think we should
park myself in front of the TV, and
it's gonna be a crazy day. And
really hang on
tight and have a cocktail if you do that. And
but I have to say that I think there's so much uncertainty, right? And then leading up to this, there was so much pressure. Vote, get the vote out.
Yeah.
Let's see what's going to happen, and fear and anxiety about the unknown. So whatever the outcome, we still can create the life that we want and work hard to connect with others, even if they are on opposing sides. We're really going to have to try to sort things out, because everything seems like the system seems maybe broken, or, whoever's going to lead the country might not be the best choice. But, and we're in a pandemic still. So we have to really find a way to feel hopeful moving forward about the future, and seek help if you're having tremendous anxiety or fear. Let's talk about it, because I think talking about it really helps sort of express that need to be seen and heard and understood.
And you're not alone. And you're not alone. And this is going to be a crazy time. Hopefully not as crazy as we think, but if you need extra support, if you need help, this is the time. I mean, this is the time to reach out and to
friends, family, us, anybody.
Don't, if you were ever hesitating about knocking on your neighbor's door, this is the time to do it, because everyone needs to show a little more love, a little more kindness, a little more compassion.
Absolutely.
And it's not all black and white. It has to be it really has to be about
patience.
No, but what was the word I'm looking for? Compromise. We all have to compromise a little. And, one side is not completely right and the other side is not completely wrong. So let's all just love each other and bring some peace into the world, no matter what happens tonight.
Be patient.
Just love each other.
Yeah. And have an open mind, because we are truly all in this together.
Yes, absolutely. And we're here for you. And if you need anything, reach out to Chrisa at asnerfamilycenter.org and get some help, and let us be here for you, because we're going to be here even more so for you now, because this is the time that everyone needs to band together.
And up next, we have another show, Kamina's show.
It's Self-Care and Healing with Kamina Star, and she's going to join us right after this commercial. So good luck, everyone.
See you next week.
And I hope you all voted, and we will see you next Tuesday. Be a whole new world next Tuesday.
Yes, hopefully. It will.
Bye, everyone. One of the things I'm most proud of is our mental health department, where we provide low-cost counseling to special needs individuals and their families. During times like this is something that everyone can use.